Good evening, folks. Welcome to Let's Play Games West Virginia. I'm Kevin,
I'm Heather.
and this is PokéMonday. So we're coming back from a bit of a break. We had a slight recess over the winter holiday, and there was some exciting Pokemon news during that period. But we're excited to be back in the new year and welcome you to 2019 to Let's Play Games and to Pokemon Go.
I still can't. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh.
So I hit level 36, which means I'm almost halfway through the game. So it was pleasant to hit level 36. I had a pretty nice friend bonus for that period as well, and it was good to be up there finally. So one of the pieces of new information is the new level 5 raid boss from this period, which was Hot Pants.
I say new, well, he says new, but it's been with us since about December 18th, and it's going to be with us until probably, I think, January 15th. So it's new-ish. It's going to be here for an extended period of time. I kind of thought in my head, I'm not, as opposed to out of my head, I'm not quite sure why, but for some reason I was thinking that it was going to be going out of battles on January 1st. So I kept waiting around for January 1st, like, oh man, here are the last few days and nobody's at these raids. And then I realized, oh right, it's here for like another 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Which explains why our college town raids were a little bit lower in numbers.
Yeah, plus it was over winter break for the university, so a lot of the players are probably back wherever they're from. But I jokingly called this fellow Hot Pants, but he's actually called Heatran. And it was basically a ground water fest. I used a lot of ground and water types.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we found it was a pretty decent level 5 raid boss to handle it with our party levels. It was doable for 5 or 6. 7 to 9 made it a bit more comfortable, but definitely able to hit it in the allotted time. As you can see, we're not even to 20 seconds, 200 seconds in this one, and we're down to probably, what, a sixth of its health?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely doable.
I ended up using a lot of my fighting Pokemon to see not Hariyama, cool. That is Hariyama,
Mm-hmm.
my bad. I keep thinking that that's the baby one, but it's not. Anyway, I was using a lot of fighting Pokemon for that battle because I knew that other people would probably be using a lot of water and ground/rock type. So I ended up using a fairly consistent group of fighters. I had 2 parties ready for Heatran, just, as a backup. I wasn't sure what to expect going into the raid, but it turned out that beating the boss was quite easy. Catching it, however, seemed to be a little bit more elusive for many people.
Yeah, I kind of fell back to my old ways of a sub 50% catch rate. But definitely I used some fighting Pokemon and some water and ground and got it done.
I think we did 5 raids, correct?
That sounds right.
Yeah, we went out with our group of raiding on one day, and we did 5 raids, and I got 4 of 5, so pretty good turnout for me, as per the usual, fairly consistent raiding, but still, I remember running out of golden raspberries, so catching that last one was definitely a struggle. I had run out quite early on, so I was only using what I was able to get in the raids, and that meant that I only had 1 or 2 options very quickly to catch them. So I ended up catching, I think, 2 or 3 with only having a couple golden raz, so that was exciting, because I threw several just regular raspberries and hoped for the best.
Yeah, I think I ended up with 2 out of our 5. I had a pile of golden raspberries going into it. So even missing 3 of them, which meant I was using a golden raspberry on every single throw, I still had enough to make it through. So I was sort of calling this guy a dire walnut. Do you know what he's actually supposed to be? Is he some kind of dog?
I'm not quite sure now that I'm thinking about it. Let's look him up in the Pokedex, because I haven't actually read that description. I usually try and go back and read through, but for him I haven't, because it was the end of a semester and I was grading. I just didn't check his stats. So his entry says that he is a lava dome Pokemon. So
dire walnut, that's what I heard.
Yeah, boiling blood like magma circulates through its body. It makes its dwelling place in volcanic caves. There you go.
What's the name of the little volcano turtle? He's a regional Pokemon.
Oh, Torkoal.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if they do a
You said lava turtle. I'm like, what do you mean?
He's like a little volcano turtle.
Okay, all right.
Man, after the original 151, I really can't be bothered to learn new names.
Oh, sorry.
But, yeah, I really hope they do a special event and make that guy available because he's super cute.
Yeah. Well, we do have information on the newest and latest Go Fest. So that's going to be happening in a new region. Let me pull up my news because now that is blanking on the location. The Safari Zone event now happening, or well, not now, but that is going to be happening in Brazil. That's a new event for them, so I'm kind of hoping that we might see some Safari Zone sorts of events in new cities, new locations. It would be really cool to be able to go to those and get some of the more elusive Pokemon, such as Torkoal and Unknown, which I have yet to get. That is one of like the 13 before Gen 4 that I still need to get, so looking forward to finishing that.
Sorry, I was dealing with our own tiny Pokemon.
Oh. Yeah, our tiny Pokemon, we realized, is sort of like a salt and pepper Eevee. So, at least I came to this conclusion. Maybe that's why I like him so much. Anyway, that's an aside.
Yeah, so I think almost everyone in our group, although it took most of the raids, were able to finally secure a Heatran for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty hit and miss. I think that the battling was definitely easy to doable, and there were some folks who were reporting soloing it online, if I remember correctly. But definitely catching was a little bit more tricky.
That is true. Of my Heatran that is it Heatran or Heatran? I don't really know.
I would go with the second one.
Tell us what you think it is. Heatran or Heatran? I kind of think it's Heatran, but again, pronunciation is hard. So of the Pokemon that I was able to catch in that raid, that raid boss, I was able to get a 91 out of all 4. So that's a pretty cool thing. But I was curious to see about some of the movesets that we were able to get. In my 91, I got a fire and a steel type, which seems a little counterintuitive, but that's the Pokemon type. The other ones, I had a couple bug moves, which totally caught me by surprise. One of my Heatran has a bug bite. Just kidding, make that 2 of them. So I don't know what to make of that. I mean, obviously it's in its move set, but that kind of shook me by surprise, since, fire and bugs usually don't mix too well.
As I said, I only got 2 during our raids, both of which have Bug Bite. One is Fire Blast and the other is Stone Edge, but my IV spread was much lower. I had 78% and 67% for both of those, which has actually been pretty typical. I think we've seen pretty serious IV distinctions between your catches and mine.
Sure. I think also with raid bosses, I generally have had, I think, in the ballpark of 72 to about 95. I've never gotten 100 or a 97 out of raids, or is it a 98? I did get a Deoxys that's a 98, so that's probably my highest one, although I did check it under the previous IV filters on PokéGenie, so that could have changed.
It very well may have been nerfed then.
So it's possible. We are seeing the new form. Do we have that footage?
We do, later in the stream.
So later in the stream, stay tuned, we'll talk about the new form of Deoxys. I'm curious if any of you are watching as to whether you got Heatran with bug moves, steel moves, fire moves. Maybe let us know in the comments what you found, because I am totally surprised by the bug move, and I can't really get over it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I have one basically with a fire and one with a stone move. That I think will make life a little bit easier to choose which one. I think I want to change my naming convention to add what the charge move type is.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've got several instances of different Pokemon, and I find that I frequently am choosing the wrong one. So I think I want to add something. PokéGenie has a preset to add move sets and other information into the name, and I think I might play with that a little bit. You can also do custom naming conventions, so I think I'm going to play with that a little bit and find something out.
I have definitely used that.
We actually have some exciting bonus footage this week. So a viewer and friend of ours, Nick, wanted to submit some footage for the stream this week. So we are kind of happy and excited to announce that we will occasionally be featuring fan footage. So
even when they're not Team Mystic. Ah!
Yeah, even when they're not on the blue team.
Just kidding.
So if you're interested in providing footage for the stream and you've got maybe something particularly special you'd like to show off, you can put that into a Dropbox link and email it to me at kevin@lpgwv.com, and we will be happy to include some of that.
So. And we can check out your fancy new poison toad.
Yeah, so the Toxicroak, which is the evolved form of Crunchgunk. Wait, that's not right.
Crowagunk.
I call it Crunchgunk. Which is one of the newer Pokemon that was released recently.
Yep, so we saw several new Pokemon of Gen 4 being released both in the winter event and just sort of as an aside. So it looks like he's going to use a Sinnoh Stone on this pretty lucky Rosalia. Rosalia. I like it because it sounds like a sweet old lady. Anyway, we're going to get to see her and her salty gray hair in just a minute.
Yeah, so one of the things that's been difficult for me is collecting enough Sinnoh Stones to burn through some evolutions. I am not getting them very frequently in the 7-day, and I'm also not getting them too frequently in the PvP or trainer battles. So hopefully that resolves itself. But I think I've only acquired 2 or maybe 3 since the delivery method changed.
Are you still doing PvP battles?
Occasionally, but not daily. My interest kind of waned.
Yeah.
I did see that there's
Look
actually...
at that white hair. Sorry.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. I did see that there are actually some like PvP tournaments set up. There's actually one here locally for us in Morgantown in January.
And the Sylph Road is being edited to add some of those things.
So I'm kind of intrigued in that to see how this bracketed month-long competition goes. And I think the first one is actually this Saturday. So if in your area you may want to check and see if there are PvP tournaments organized, probably on your Discord or whoever your Sylph Road contact is. But definitely looks cool.
Nick, I'm totally checking out your Pokemon here. You scrolling through your living Pokedex, and I'm curious what else is on here. I see you're getting your own very own Salamence, hopefully. Bagon, as I like to call it, bagging an egg. Bagging an egg.
Nope.
So here we are, next up on the list. Shelgon, not to be confused with the turtle.
So powering through the evolutions there.
That is not typically my style, to wait until I have enough candies to finally evolve. I usually go through each evolution stage.
Pokemon for you as well.
Hey.
And it's lucky.
And is lucky.
It's like Hydro Pump and Dragon Tail, so that's pretty decent.
Pretty good moveset. I can't see what the thing is.
I can't see what your thing says because of my tracker, and I also don't know what your team's stuff means. So that would have been not helpful for me at all.
Ooh, a Torchic.
So this is back to some of my footage. So I was able to finally acquire the level 3 chicken.
Level 3 chicken. You got yourself a spicy chicken.
I really like Torchic. I think Torchic is super cute. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. I'm less interested in its evolved stages for cuteness factors, at least. So finally clearing out that section of the Pokedex. It took a long time. I had a hard time getting enough Torchics to use that.
I see Torchic everywhere. I honestly have stopped looking at them because they are rather difficult to catch, so usually I bypass them. Kind of like Bulbasaur and other things like... What else? Mankey, usually bypass. Rosalia, bypass that one. Those sorts of Pokemon that take a lot of Pokeballs to hit.
So this is not a sponsored stream, but I was hanging out at the Iron Horse restaurant and realized I had some time, so I decided to pop a Meltan box. I've been holding on to it for a while. I kind of forgot to use them again. I guess just the long-termness of getting through that had kind of lost my interest over the break. And so I hung on for this for a while, like 2-3 weeks maybe. Definitely since before the last stream. I think the last time we streamed was the 17th. So, like half a month at least I was holding on to this.
Wow.
So as I found this time, the increased Meltan spawns, there's definitely still more of them. But man, are they harder to catch. I had 200 and 300 CP Meltans jumping out of Ultra Balls with pineapple berries or raspberries. At one point, I even threw a golden raspberry at it, and
I think we just saw it.
and it jumped out of that ball too. So it was, I don't know why they are so blasted hard to catch, but you know, it takes, as long as you have the supply of Pokeballs and berries to get them, it's fine. But there were some where I just could not use a pineapple berry, which obviously I want to do because you have to that rush to 400. So it was definitely a difficult time.
One thing that I've kind of forgot about after I got my Melmetal is that it is still important to get your Meltan box because, and I remembered this as I was transferring Pokemon to my Let's Go, Meltan is one of the Pokemon that you can send to Let's Go and to put in the Go Parks. So you can get extra candy and rewards and such. If you add up to, like, I think it's 25 Pokemon, you can go play the mini game in the park and get yourself some candies and whatnot. So I kind of forgot about that aspect of the game and the interaction between the two. So for the process, you get your Meltan box from Let's Go, then it goes to your Pokemon Go, in which you use it and hopefully, you know, rack up candies. But then you get to send them back to Let's Go, and that will give you some perks in the game that I haven't yet taken advantage of. I've kind of been low-key on that. I haven't been playing as much due to schedule conflicts and whatnot, just getting busy. So it's been a little difficult, but don't forget about that.
Additionally, even though Meltan is a mythical type Pokemon, it can be traded. So I traded one to someone.
Can?
Yeah, I traded one to someone this weekend.
Oh, that seems new.
I almost want to suspect that because it has to go back and forth to Let's Go, they had to make it tradable. So I traded one to someone who doesn't have immediate access to a Let's Go, and to a Let's Go, and hadn't had a Meltan box yet, and was slugging through the
Looks like you've got plenty to trade there.
So I went ahead and traded one, and so that's good that happened. Mm-hmm. Just kind of checking to see how many are there. So obviously I'm working like everyone else who's doing the Meltan stuff. I'm working up to try to get a Melmetal, which is 400 candies, which is definitely a pile of Meltan.
Did I have my Melmetal before our last stream?
I think so.
Okay. I couldn't remember when it was. It's been a while. Brain fog is real. So you're pretty close though, right? You're in like the last 15, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay. Because I thought I remember seeing something.
Yep, so I got to sit down at the table, enjoy some like smothered handmade, like almost artisanal tater tots, and catch a pile of Meltans.
Artisanal tater tots. Say that 3 times fast.
But yeah, so one of the things that would be nice, it would be nice if there was a switch you could flip to select multiple event type Pokemons or mythical Pokemon. So it is annoying to have to hit go into each one specifically and then hit like 3 button clicks to be able to transfer that. I do like the warning once. Yeah. I do like the warning, like, hey, are you sure you really want to do this? But it would be cool if you could toggle something, and even if that was a 2-step process and it would only last for like a minute, so you don't have to do it each time, but that would still save you time because it's kind of a pain to transfer all those guys back.
Sure. I think they only changed that because many people were trading back or transferring back their special Pokemon. Oops. So they did make that an extra part of the game. It is a pain in the butt, but at the end of the day, I would rather have extra precautions than accidentally trade back legendaries or whatnot.
Well, I do appreciate the one heads up, but I still think that at some point it'd be nice to be able to be like, I know what I'm doing, and I really, really mean this one.
Sure.
So obviously one of the things that I wanted to do was try to maximize IVs for Melmetals because I'm probably not going to be able to get a whole lot of those. And I cared more about that than I cared about the CP at the time. So kind of was IV hunting for my Meltan. And I've got one that's in the 90s, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Most of them are lower IVs that I've seen. Maybe like 2 in a box are above average, and maybe 2 or 3 in a box are attention for Team Mystic, so in that 3rd category. And I have only seen the one that's above 90.
Yeah, I think prior to the 91 that I did evolve to Melmetal, The highest I had seen was like an 82. So pretty serious drop there. Most all of them were terrible IVs. So I was happy to go ahead and transfer those puppies back. Got a lot of Meltan footage here.
Yeah, some of it. It's not all of it, obviously. I just, grabbed some. So we have a new community day coming up, right?
We do. Oh, did you expect me to talk about it?
Yeah, that was me with your segue.
Oh, okay. Yes, we have a community day. It is what Pokemon?
Definitely a tiny blue alligator, Totodile.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be totally awesome. I did the setup for that.
Get out.
Yeah, alright. Anyway.
Is that this Saturday or the Saturday after next?
Well, Totodile is coming up. I believe it's this coming weekend. Yeah, the 12th. So that means then that on the 12th, we are going to have a few hours of extra footage.
Which will definitely be cool. I wanted to interject real quick because I did finally hit 400 Meltan candies.
Sorry to interrupt your evolution process.
So finally got the giant Melmetal, and I'm pretty sure he was at 93. So unlocked that new Pokemon.
Nice. Giant Bolt.
This Saturday, Totodile.
Totodile. So if you are so inclined, save up your Pin-App berries so that you can take full advantage of your Community Day experience. Also, with that, we are going to see the extra hour tacked on to the end of the event so you can get the special move. Thus far, mystery move. Not sure. I kind of think it's going to be something like Hydro Cannon, but I could be wrong. Probably going to be wrong. Anyway, there is going to be a special move for Community Day. There is also going to be a shiny. So I saw some glimmers of what the sprites might look like, and it's going to be like a greenish color rather than the blue Totodile. I almost said blue toad, which is a blue poison dart frog. Anyway, it kind of looks like it's going to be a green Totodile, in which it's got like a fun little differently colored head thing. I don't know what to call that, the little flappy on top. Anyway, both Croconaw and Feraligatr look pretty interesting in their evolved forms as shinies. I would suggest to go look that up on Reddit if you're curious. People have already posted entries about the sprite.
LPGWV Snarf has your back saying that if I get the Mew Year pun that you get totally.
Okay. Well, I thought it was totally awesome, so whatever.
Have you been doing many of the trainer battles either against other players or against the team captains?
No, not too many. I did do one against our friend LPG Jason at our New Year's party, but I think that has been the last one. So it's been a couple days since I have done any kind of trainer battles. I've not gotten any Sinnoh Stones since I got the 4 in one day, so you're welcome, Ethos, the world, whatever. This is my karma. But I haven't really been paying much attention to it because I've been playing a little bit less than I would like to and normally do. So I haven't been playing any of the trainer battles or any of the PvP. So
I am really interested in doing one of the PvP tournaments. I'm pretty sure ours is scheduled for the same day as Community Day, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But it would be pretty cool. I want to go test one of those out, see if that kind of reinvigorates my interest for the PvP system. It is kind of funny because the playership, is that a word? Clamored for this feature since release. Yeah. Like, people were really bummed out that it didn't exist from the day Pokemon Go started.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems to has a pretty lackluster reception. So I don't know if it's just not what people expected or the implementation isn't quite right. But I think it's going to fade from the interest of a lot of players unless something like that tournament bracket thing really takes off.
Yeah, I think for me, it's never really been one of the primary movers or interests for me. I could take or leave trainer battles, and quite frankly, when I was playing through as a kid, I actually hated battling other trainers, even though that helped my Pokemon grow. So that's never really been a thing of mine. I just want to fill out my Pokedex and like be level 40. So that's my main incentive. The stone is helpful, but I'm down to like I think 4 or 5 Pokemon that need the Sinnoh Stone, so I'm still not really in a rush to get those things. I can see the reasoning behind it and why people might still want to, but it's just not my deal.
Right. I mean, the Sinnoh Stone itself is kind of a MacGuffin for the game. It's not some. It's a novel invention for Pokemon Go.
Sure.
It does not have a precedent in the game in the console games. So, I mean, the fact that this is one of the main ways to get it, I don't know. That whole situation, I'm still a little fluffy over.
Yeah, I'm still a little salty about the fact that they took them out of boxes and then put them in PvP. I think there was probably something else interesting they could have done, like maybe a reward of a Meltan box, which seems pretty badass, right? Or something else, some other kind of special item, whether maybe that's a star piece. That would be a totally legit thing. So even if they increased the gift pool of the rewards from that, I would totally be back in probably. But right now, because the Sinnoh Stone, I have had fairly successful luck with it, I'm just kind of over it.
Sure. Have you noticed any trends in rewards or anything for the different kinds of team captains? I haven't quite seen anything.
I haven't really paid attention to that, primarily because I only do them one at a time. So I typically do not do more than 2 battles with any given person or trainer, one of the 3 trainers, because after that, your rewards are zilch.
Yeah.
So even if I've gotten 2 Stardust or 2 sets of Stardust from the rewards, I pretty quickly am done with that. So I know that there are no further rewards and it's not really leveling up my Pokemon, so I just stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of I wanted there to be some pattern or trend happening there, but I really didn't see anything like that, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I am happy that I can finally work on that Ace Trainer badge. Although it would be nice if it lets you know that that some of your Ace Trainer stuff were from the old system, because it was kind of cool to have this like old school badge that wasn't really getting used for much, but you're like, oh no, I was playing on launch. You can see I've got this weird thing going on. Like, so it's kind of maybe a bummer to lose something special on that.
Yeah.
But I finally did have enough of these Pikachu with a hat, which was over the winter event, to finally end up with a Raichu with a hat.
Nice. Were you able to secure any Pichus with hats?
I did. I hatched one.
Nice. There were some people posting online that they got the shiny Pichu with Santa hat. So that's pretty cute because Pichu's adorable.
I have never hatched a shiny.
I haven't either. I've only ever caught or traded shinies. So that's never happened to me. Dear Cosmos, if you're listening, I would like that to happen.
I did finally secure a Blissey.
Nice. Is that me? No, that's you.
Yeah, this is still me. You do have footage in here, I promise.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last few minutes.
Yeah. Solid 1 minute.
Oh, cool. Looks like you did that raid with me.
I did. I mean, we do a lot of raids together.
Yeah.
Do you have a shiny Shinx yet? Say that 5 times fast.
Shiny Shanks, shiny Shanks, shiny Shanks. Yeah, the X doesn't come out. No, I don't. I do have a fairly good CP Shanks. So I've evolved it to its next form, but I still don't have the final form. Which, is that true? Am I telling you correctly? Let's see. I believe that is correct, but I don't want to lie to the streamers here. I have a 91% Luxio, but I do not have the final form. I still need several candies, which is why I probably volunteered to do that Shanks raid. it's not something that I've felt the need to go out and do every single raid or like get up and leave the couch where I'm currently residing to go do that. So in time, I'm sure it will come, and I'll use rare candies if I need to.
Yeah, I've been kind of hoarding rare candies because I've been dropping them into Meltan. But now that I have that Melmetal, I can kind of spread those around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't currently have any.
I think I have 20 or so because I did use 10 or 15 in the last week for new Pokemon evolutions, because that's the one thing. If there's a chunk of them to use, but it's for a new Pokemon to the Pokedex for me, I'm usually willing to spend some of those.
Yeah, I'm pretty I'm okay to use the rare candies and whatever it may be that I need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have this sort of like, oh, it has to be something extremely special feel. As long as it's a new evolution and I'm using a lucky egg, I'm totally cool to crash those in there.
So I'm pretty sure this is our new Deoxys form.
It is. So that came out on December 20th, or as they phrased, awkwardly and with some ambiguity, after the round of December 20th raid invites, you will see a new attack form, which leads one to wonder if that means that the raids on the 20th will be the new form, or whether the next set starts the attack form, or who knows. But we win anyway, even though we had gotten several of the other form. We decided to go ahead and bite the bullet on this one and try anyway.
This is the speed form, though, right? Not the attack form.
I'm
pretty sure this is...
Nope. I'm pretty sure this is the regular...
Quick, to the internet.
To my Pokedex. Sorry, I'm looking in my Pokedex here.
So as you can see, we had a full 20 players there, and that raid was over like crazy fast.
It's the attack form. What did I say?
You said attack, I said speed.
Okay. Ha! It was the attack form. So this new one is the attack form, as you can see in my Pokedex.
I spent the entire time thinking it was the speed form.
No. So we had the normal form last time, which was Twizzler's arms, and now we have attack. So if you were unable to get an invite to the normal form, I don't believe that they are tradable yet, so you will still have to attempt to get that at a later point, because now we're on to the attack form, which seemed to be, according to some other Redditors, I didn't try this, soloable. So again, that questions whether it's very meta relevant for most things. I think not. But if you are able to solo raid it, that might be something worth trying if you lack a group of people to go with.
Yeah, but as you can see here, we didn't have any problem with that. So we had one group that was fully maxed out at 20 players, and then there was a second group starting right after.
I think a third group after that, too.
Yeah, so definitely there was lots of invites to go around, and lots of people were able to make it. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, even if it had been the regular Deoxys, we would have gone to the X-Raid.
That's probably true. I mean, it's 20,000 XP, possibility of Golden Raspberry, possibility of a lot of Stardust, and rare candies.
And if you're in that XP grind, you don't want to look down at 20,000 XP.
Seriously, I'm still in the grind. I'm almost halfway to my 5 million for level 40.
So this is your catch from the same raid. I didn't include your battle footage since it was, the same battle footage as mine, basically. Mm-hmm. But this is your catch for that.
This is my catch. That's the first footage. Look at that. So you can see that I've got a total whopping 4 golden raz here. So I'm really hoping I can max it out on the first couple of catches, because otherwise it's going to be stinky to do that. You can see here, ball number 2. I'm waiting with great anticipation and didn't even get a single bounce. Here we are, 2 left. One more throw, misses because reasons.
Right into the defense mode.
Right into the ground. Right in the face.
That one was really energetic too. That was like almost back-to-back defense moves.
Yeah.
Just enough time to get you.
I feel like I'm sort of rewatching this for the first time because it's been a while. So I'm like curious what I'm gonna do. That's my last golden raz, and it jumped. And here we are. Nope. So I now have to use silver pin apps, which, as you know, doesn't really do much other than the candy and a little bit of help. So it does help catching some, but not in the way that a golden raz does.
And they're hard to come by. They're just not a prevalent resource.
I will say, though, recently there have been several field researches that give silver pin apps as rewards. Today, actually, I completed one for 5 silver pin app. I don't quite recall what the field task was. I'm trying to pull up the task list for January now, because I did get... Oh, this is not... This is just has the catches.
One of the things I'm still looking for is the execute field researches, because I am stuck on the Meltan quest part of catch 5 execute. I have seen 2 since the beginning of that part of the quest for me.
So if you are stuck like Kevin, if you complete the hatch and egg field research, that has the possibility of giving you either an execute or what's that dog? The pit bull. Snubble. Possibly a shiny.
So here we have a Sinnoh for a shiny Rosalia.
Oh, and whose is that?
Me.
That'd be yours.
That was my first one.
That was your first one. You have 2?
That was my first of that.
Oh, okay. Pokemon. I thought you meant as in that's not your first, or that's, yeah.
So this is one of the Pokemon that was released over break. And one of the things that you pointed out to me, actually, is that there is a coloration difference between the male and female Pokemon there. But only in the first stage, not in the evolve stage.
That is true.
But that's kind of a fun thing. There's an extra brown stripe on one of them.
Yep, so you can see this one, if I click on the thing, has just the one little bottom brown section, and that is the girl format. So the boy format has sort of a extra Charlie Brown stripe around the middle. So that's kind of fun. I learned that on Reddit, on the Sylph Road subreddit. So for all of your extra nerdy and somewhat useless information, check it out. So here I am adoring that cute little Snover that I found in the middle of Target while I was shopping for a Christmas gift.
Our Target actually has a Starbucks in it, which has a Pokestop, which is nice to be able to toss a lure on that.
That's true.
Make a loop around the store and collect some Pokemon.
Oh, so it wasn't before then. So this is my Meltan that happened a couple weeks ago. At the beginning of the winter event. So you saw that Snover. That was from the very first minute that I realized we had turned over into the event. So I was waltzing around Target, of course, with my Pokemon Go open, and suddenly saw this big blob on the screen and went, oh my gosh! And then proceeded to message everyone who plays Pokemon that I know and go, the event has started! So Meltan was shortly after that because I had the requisite candies. So I then used all of my extra Meltan to send to Let's Go, as we talked about before. So here's also a new Pokemon. That is, Skorupi, which sounds totally like a Legend of Zelda item. A Ruby, Skorupi, Shapoopy. I don't know. Anyway, Skorupi is a new Gen 4 Pokemon that is available. People have told me that this form is cute. I find that's kind of odd, but it has an evolved form that is not as cute. I find that Drapion looks sort of like a 3-legged creepy scorpion.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's awkward. This one, as we saw before, Croagunk, does also have a toxic frog evolution, but I think it looks cuter as a little baby.
That does not trigger the cute switch for me.
I think it's the derpy little smile that gets me.
Yeah, it's the creepy. It's the smile I think is creepy actually, and it's that kind of like hunched over, leaning.
I think it's kind of cute, but also I think poison dart frogs are cute. So I like animals.
So in addition to this period, we also had some 7K egg happenings, right?
Yes.
We had the ability to catch Snorlax's baby,
Which would be?
Munchlax.
Yes.
I'm
trying to see if you're recalling the name.
I only very recently caught that one, like within the last 3 or 4 days.
So, according to the interwebs and our friends' experiences, it turns out that many people have hatched Munchlax after Munchlax in their evolution of the 7K gift eggs, which means that they went for an extended period of time having not hatched any. I think I only hatched the one initially, and then I believe I may have hatched another one, but it's not uncommon to hatch 3 or 4 in a row, according to some people. So some of the other Pokemon that have been available in these as well, the 7K eggs, are Chinglings. So, sorry, Chingling, which is Chime-Cho or Chimicho, whatever, baby form. Hi there, Luke. Good to see you. Welcome. So some of the other things that are available in the 7K eggs are, like we talked about, Munchlax. Chingling is available, and also Mantike. I have not seen Mantike or Chingling at all. So I'm still attempting to open 7K eggs, but I'm really tired of Vulpix and Geodudes and things. So I'm kind of I guess my inner self is torn between opening 7K and the new egg event that's happening. So the new egg event that we are currently in until I think the 15th of January is that eggs are going to be hatching, more 5 and 10K eggs are going to be showing up at Pokestops. I've seen more 5K than 10K, but I've gotten a couple. Additionally, there's twice as much hatching candy and twice as much hatching Stardust. So it really behooves you whether or not you want to use the 7K eggs or 5 and 10K to get out and pedal around.
Cool. I see you finally evolved your Snover there.
I did. It didn't take too long for me to get the candies because I was using pin apps, but I did want to wait around until I found a decent IV Snover. So I did wait longer than necessary, which is atypical for me, but I did feel it more important to do that. But I hunted IVs for probably most of the event and still came up with only, I think, 80% wise in the 80s. So
cool.
It was good, but, not relevant.
I just wanted to interject and say thanks for the cheer, Lucatuela. Appreciate all the support for the stream.
Woo! Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, hey, look, another Alolan Sandshrew. That's exactly what nobody needs.
Hey, look, this is what I mean. I'm torn between opening more 7K eggs, because look, another Magby, which will help you if you need your Sinnoh Stone, but I'm not hard up for those candies.
Yeah, in some ways, I would like to see a change of pace from what appears to be the incubator fire sale that is egg hatching after egg hatching after egg hatching events. Like, I realize this is a large way that Niantic makes money, and they've obviously reported huge profits this year, larger than several other big name gaming companies. Something like a $4 billion profit this year.
Got a Badoo.
Ooh, a Badoo.
Badoo.
And
that wasn't my first, but
definitely would like to see maybe a change in that, because we're still purchasing boxes and doing other things, and there are definitely ways to make money for them as a company, which they deserve to be remunerated. Sorry. But it would be nice to kind of see this egg thing pass for a while.
I'm pretty sure, so that's my third total Badoo. I'm still, every time I just think of a bidet, but anyway.
Ooh, an Elekid.
I think that is my third Badoo, and I think there's another one in this batch, possibly.
So one of the other special event Pokemon, I don't think we've seen one yet, was Delibird for this period. It's kind of the Santa Claus. Ooh, there's a Munchlax.
There's my Munchie. That was a new one for me during the winter event. Yeah, so Delibird had a really cool shiny opportunity that was like magenta and looked super cool. like hella fly. But supposedly, according to, the interwebs account of it, there were no boosted shiny rates for that. So people did report that they found it, but I never had that experience. It seemed like that was something that I hunted over and over and over and still came up short. We did see other shinies. Snorrend had the little cool blue shiny. I was able to snag one of those in trade. Didn't catch one, but
I didn't have a shiny for any of the Pokemon special releases over the winter event, but that shiny Snorrent looks pretty cool. It's almost like a soft, like annealed blue color, and it's really cool looking.
Not too dissimilar from the soft yellow of Magnemite.
Yeah.
So
also, which looks like an annealing process.
Yeah.
But so one of the things I've been disappointed about has been these field research 7-day rewards. I'm pretty sure I've just had only Zapdos and a dog that I didn't care about. So if you've missed those in the previous months, it's definitely a good opportunity to get them. If you already have them, it is just week after week of disappointing bird dog problems.
You do have the opportunity now in January until, I believe, the middle of March. No, not the middle, the beginning of March. Sorry, I wrote that down, that date. So from January 1st to March 1st, you have the opportunity to get either the birds or the dogs, in addition to Lugia or Ho-Oh. People have reported getting shinies for those, so that is an opportunity. If you've not taken advantage of that, that would be a good time, since we just now had that special day with them coming back. So if you're still looking for a Lugia or a Ho-Oh, that is a possibility. I won't say it's a high chance, but it's one of 6, 8 Pokemon you could get.
So thanks again for joining. We are Let's Play Games West Virginia. We will see you after Saturday's Community Day, and hopefully we'll have some excellent blue crocodiles to show you then.
Or green ones.
Or green. Ooh, green ones, yeah, for
shiny.
I'm Kevin. This is Heather. This is Let's Play Games West Virginia. Thanks for tuning into PokéMonday, and a special thanks to Lucatuella for the cheer. And we will see you guys next Monday.